Question is that the motion be agreed to. Dr. David Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Look, I rise to support this bill. Labor has been clear from the beginning that we will be supporting this measure because it is an effective measure to help curb smoking. Smoking, it helps, I think, to remind all of us that smoking is still a net drain on the health system in New Zealand. Smoking is still a cost that we all bear, both socially and economically, and the excise that is collected by government does not yet offset the harm caused to our communities. It doesn't add up that it is something that is just taking money and not giving back. But our concern remains that the money must get back to those people who are paying the excise. Those people who are struggling with an addiction to smoking must be supported in their efforts to give up. Public health generally must be supported. This is $425 million across 4 years, and the government in this debate has not committed to putting that back into public health, to supporting those who would wish to give up, supporting people with public health issues like obesity, like diabetes, like smoking, drug and alcohol issues and so on. They will not commit to that. The Minister seems to think, and he said this pretty much, that money taken from smokers and put back into hip replacements will somehow help people stop smoking. When asked what the public health benefit was from this money being taken, he said it will go into hip replacements. That does not stop smoking, Mr. Speaker, and we need to stress that, lest people cotton on to that and somehow try to understand that contorted logic. It is not worth going there. It just doesn't work that way, Mr. Speaker. We don't think the money should go into the consolidated fund to fund the government's pet projects, be it charter schools that are funded at 5 times the rate of public schools, whatever their other corporate welfare priorities are at the moment, Saudi sheep or Sky City deals, whatever it is they're trying to dish money out to people for. We don't think this money should go back into that pot. We think it should be there to help smoking cessation and other public health programs that are for the well-being of all New Zealanders. In the debate, the Ministers failed to address my question about giving tobacco companies time to adjust to this. What behaviour in the past tells us is that tobacco companies put the additional costs on them onto their high-value products, their high-margin products, the luxury cigars. They try and keep their gateway products, their cheap products, as cheap as possible. And the Minister's given no assurance that there'll be any looking at the range of products available and making sure that this excess is applied in a way that actually reduces smoking in the most effective way possible. The Minister simply has not addressed that question in the committee stages of this debate. Mr. Speaker, he also talked about the progress of plain packaging through the Parliament, and as my colleague, the Honourable Annette King, said, it's been sitting on the order paper since 2014 in the middle of the year, and that is unbelievable that the Minister thinks that's progressing because it's written on a piece of paper that we pick up every day. It is not racing through this Parliament. So we look forward to the progress of that bill because we want to take seriously your sentiment that you believe this is a measure that is going to help New Zealanders and not just a tax grab, Minister. So we need to do more. We need to do more soon because people are dying while this government fails to put money into public health. People are dying from the consequences of smoking. And Mr. Speaker, we'll support this bill. It is one of the most effective means of stopping smoking through increasing the price of cigarettes, but we need also a comprehensive plan to get us smoke-free by 2025. That is the government's stated goal, but health experts say we are not on track. 15% of adults in New Zealand smoke daily. The government does not have us in a position with a convincing plan to make sure that we are smoke-free by 2025. They can do better, they must do better. They need to stop treating this $425 million as a revenue grab. They need to put the money into programs that are for the public health of New Zealanders, for anti-smoking programs, obesity programs and other programs that will improve the health of New Zealanders overall. It continues a pattern in the health sector of underfunding generally. We are supporting this measure because it's a good step in the right direction, but there is so much more to be done. We wish this government was ambitious for New Zealand. We wish they cared for middle New Zealand and not just for the few at the top, Mr. Speaker.